business for themselves or have a dream of starting their own company? Does anybody want to do that or done that? Okay, so we have a few people. Well, tonight I'm going to talk about 8 principles I have learned in starting my companies and going from a startup all the way to a successful company. But for those of you who don't want to start your own company, the other thing that's really neat about this is a lot of those principles hold true for creating the life you want. Because I found that a company, going from its startup or when it's born, all the way to a successful company, whether you sell it or you go IPO, or whatever the exit is very similar to how we go through life. Principle number 1 is believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in what you're doing. If you do not believe in what you're building, no one else will. Your customers won't, especially if you're going for investors, they will not. It sounds simple, but I found a lot of people who do not really believe in what they do. It's got to be part of your heart, what you're doing. And that's true for yourself. You need to believe in yourself, no matter what you do. Principle number 2, build something that matters. I can't tell you better than this. If you go into business just to make money, you won't make any. And I'll tell you this too. I like to remind people of this, no matter how much money they make, this is what you're going to leave the world with. Material possessions and money. You're not taking it with you. So do something that matters. Change the world. Help people. The money will come. Third principle is hire good people. You need to hire people, I found, that are aligned with you, that have the same values. Richard Branson, and I said this in a previous speech, I love him, he's got great quotes. One of his famous quotes is, it's better to have a hole in your company than an asshole. Hire people, and that's what he said, hire people that are truly aligned with who you are. And it's the same in life. Hang out with people that are going to support you. There are so many toxic people in the world, whether it's in your company or life. Get rid of them. Hang out. Toastmasters is a great support organization. Get positive people in your life who want you to excel, not bring you down. The 4th principle is give everybody in your company equity. Make them owners. I've learned that doing several companies. The reason is, when you do a startup, there will be times you want to quit. Throw up your hands. But when someone owns it, it's kind of like owning your kids. You will stay with them. You'll stay with you. And I'll tell you, folks, it's pretty hard to fail when you have that kind of loyalty, no matter what you do. Principle number 5. Only invest in what you need to do. A lot of people view a company as how many employees they have. Invest what makes sense. Last company I'm starting, the company I just started here, I'm building software. I don't need that many employees, but I need infrastructure. Make sure you know your path. There's so many stories I have with the previous company I started. We had to build this big office. We never used it. We were all out in clients' sites. We had this big office with a conference room that was there for, I guess we could hold Toastmasters meeting every week. So don't waste your money. Invest in what you have to do. The 6th principle is think globally. We get in this little world where we think about, we're in this little silo, but when you start to think about how your company will scale globally, you start to get a paradigm shift. You see things in different light. It's just like in life, right? If you get out of your comfort zone, that's when your life really begins. If you really want to learn a culture, immerse yourself in it. Go to that culture. But you start to see things. It was amazing when we built our TAIC. The company, we had this little vision, and we started to look out at different places like India and China and see things from a different perspective. And you'll start to change your views. The 7th principle is decentralize. When you first start your company, you're going to say, oh, I got to control everything. I've got to hold on to costs. But you've got to let go. It was the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing for people is to let go. You've got to get it out there. And also, if you're going to do business in other countries, you need people on local time who understand the climate, the country, everything like that. I could be the greatest person in the world. If I go to China, I'm not going to be very successful. We did it. You need local people and local talent who understand that culture. So decentralize and let it go. But the most important thing I can tell you tonight, you only take one thing from this speech. Remember this. And we talked about it in several Toastmaster meetings. I know Tim doesn't. Get out there and do it. There's so many people who sit back. Just do it. You never know how it's going to go. I mean, it's just like life. You know, I knew I was here when I started it, and I knew I wanted to be here. And you're going to go all different ways, and you might end up right here. And it's probably better than you originally ever thought you were going to be at. So just do it. That's why I say the answer to how is yes. You may not know the how. And you're going to go through a lot of different things, and you're going to change something. But just say yes. It will come if it's your passion. So another Richard Branson is, he always says, when he starts a company, screw it, let's do it.